Good morning, traders. A little bit of a time check. It is currently 1:39 a.m., which is the time I'm recording this video, and the date is June 8th. As you guys can see, I don't know if it can reflect well, but yeah, that is the time. And as you've seen from the title of this video, it talks about literally building patience as a trader, right? And the reason I do think this video aligns perfectly with this type of time of the day, it is because on Sunday and for the past week, or for the past, I think 3 or 2 weeks, when I started like creating my own checklist and kind of trying to follow my rules for each and every day, ever since I had set it out, I've only breached my rules once, and once I got to reflect and review on the day when I actually broke my rules, I realized there are some patterns that I couldn't act on, or that I couldn't see as the day was starting or throughout the day. And those patterns, I do keep them to myself because it is my side of the journal and my side of trading. But how does this lean forward into patience? Starting off from where I started last year, whereby I deeply committed myself to day trading, which I eagerly thought that I would be, perhaps, or would have already made it by this time this year, because this video is kind of like 1 year and 6 months now, whereby I've been into this, and it has literally taught me a lot. The fact that it has literally taught me a lot, to the point that I do believe, even though I'm to try or to think about even quitting, it just couldn't be possible for me to do that right now. We still reflect on last year, whereby in this same exact time, I thought I had it all, each and everything. I had studied ICT concepts, SMC concepts. I knew what prop firms were. I was depositing money that I had saved up. And if I'm to reflect back on there, and let me say you are someone, and you are to come that time, like June 2025, and tell me that, Donovan, in June 2026, you'll be sitting down recording a video whereby you wouldn't even have reached the point of life you were imagining about to be like in 2026. I don't know if you guys can do quite understand what I'm saying. In simple terms, what I mean that last year I thought that by this time I would be profitable already. Yet, if you are to tell me that last year that by this time I won't be profitable, the amount of patience would have been so unreliable that I would be existing on. Thank God that I'm still here until this day, and to reflect upon these days. But coming back closer to this year, and for the past 3 weeks have been my most insightful weeks I've ever had in my trading career. And why I may say it is because of the patience. This patience comes from the fact that I was too patient, not in the way that people may say that, let me say you do want to acquire a skill or acquire, let me say, funds, and you're like, let me be patient, let me have that delayed gratitude. But my type of patience was that I was so patient with my problems. You understand? This is kind of like a reverse psychology. I was so patient to quit my habits, like my bad habits in day trading. One, fear of missing out; another, overtrading; another, revenge trading, psychological issues. You understand? And I couldn't reflect why, how, when, until I dropped onto my last video. Not a last video, but until I dropped onto a video whereby I was literally pointing out the same mistakes I was doing. And I realized I made that video last year in a position where I was like, I'll change. everything will be right, I'll change. But still, I couldn't change. Now, it was just a random night. Woke up, decided to open up my PC to actually watch or to actually check my progress of my YouTube. Then I do drop down on a video. I'll leave it here. And that same video talks about the trading mistakes I was making around, I believe by that time it was like 5 months back, approximately. And that video literally spells out the same problems, the same habits, the same issues that I was still facing until this day. Like until the day I watched that video that night. Then I sat down there in deep thoughts and in deep imagination, thinking. I'm like, why is it that like 3 months back, by the time I'm watching that video, I'm like 3 months back or 5 months back, I had this problem. And 5 months after, I'm still having the same problem. And there's no way I can go down and tackle that problem. Why is it still like this? And that, dropping down on that video gave me this like mindful insight and mindful realization. And I'm like, don't even snap out of it. Because I was doing the same mistakes. And I was like, I'm not progressing. I do buy a prop farm, blew it. Got funded, blew it. Challenges, blew them. Reached them. And I was like, why? Until a turning point appeared into my life, whereby I realized that I had a lot going on in my life. Not only inside my trading life, but also outside my life. Like I had a lot of, if I could check my screen time, it was high. I could do like a lot. I could multitask thinking it's productive, yet even in actual sense, it was lagging me back. And this comes from a mindset training that I bought, which was like around in April. And it was like, it's literally says this part that for every action you make or for every action you do, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And it continues on to say that if you fail in one area of life, you're bound to fail in another area of your life. You understand? So in that mindset training, it talks about that. So when I watched that training, and that training also added in a factor, but it was not like a pivotal point. The pivotal point was after watching that video. And then I do come onto this realization, and I'm like, bro, you need to stop what you're doing. And that's when I hopped onto a video that changed my life. It was a random, I believe, weekend. I am washing. Then I discovered a video. This trader talks about how we traders are not taking trading very seriously. Like people are just trading, just off of trading. And he talks about this insight whereby he literally talks about how to take trading seriously, like to the next level. Then he offers a tool, and when I went deep into what the resources he was giving, he dropped onto a journal. He dropped onto like a trading login journal and all that stuff, which I've actually, I think, showed in one of my previous videos, like in a week in a life videos, whereby I show how I journaled into that software. But that tool that he gave me that, like, it gave me that up-touch feeling whereby I realized that this is the moment with what I need to imply into my trading so that to make each and everything work out for me. Because there is no way I could watch this video to take trading seriously and stay the same. There is no way. And guess what I did? I decided to act. For the first time, I decided to act on a video that I had watched. Not even merely out of intentional, but out of, should I say, by accident. I dropped onto it. So ever since I watched that video, like in the past 3 weeks, I decided to change my trading style. I don't change my strategy, but I started to realize that this journal, this logging, it does not, by the way, make everything good for you, but it gives you a step further, whereby into my journey, into my like period where I'm at, I literally needed this tool to actually make each and everything work out for me, because this journaling tool could show up everything. It could show up the logins, the mood, your stress. You have to upload the screenshot, the entries. Like, it gives you that feeling that you're really taking trading seriously. And yes, I did have an old journal that I used to use, but I was still lagging on that, because as I could log in, it was kind of like a manual login journal whereby I can't trade all my metrics. So the thing that I may want you to pick out of this video, and again, if you're new around here, my name is Donovan. I have been trading for the past 1 year and 6 months. I am not yet a profitable trader, but I am on the journey of becoming one. So getting on to the point whereby I may want you to take away from this video, it is that once you do have clarity in each and everything you do, then you can take on decisions effortlessly. This has been my realization from different resources of pieces of content that I've been watching for hours and hours and hours per week, and I've come out to that and decided that clarity is the discipline. Clarity is the discipline. Once you do have the clarity in what you have to do, not only even in day trading but in also other areas of your life, then you're good to go. So if you're new around here, ensure to follow up, to subscribe onto this channel. We are at 22 subscribers, and for those that have reached this part of the video, I want to thank you a lot, because who literally takes their time to watch someone who's like me, a beginner trader, who's actually here to document their journey. So whatever I've said in this video is also something that I've learned, and I wanted to share it out to you guys. But with that, I'll see you in the next video.